Hi, my geniuses. Welcome to my channel. This is Carol, and I'm starting a new series today on IELTS. My episodes will be uploaded every day from Sunday to Friday. Please subscribe and click on the bell icon so you don't have to miss any of my notifications. And you can also travel with me as we venture into this series. Also, please do watch, listen, and enjoy all my other videos. Now, let's start preparing for our IELTS exam. I'm going to give you a brief on IELTS on this video, and in my following videos, I will cover specific concepts. IELTS, International English Language Testing System. The overview for this class: number 1, structure of IELTS. Number 2, modules covered in IELTS, or the modules tested in IELTS. And number 3, scoring. Now let's see the structure and system. Now before I go into talking about the modules and the time given for each module test, I'd like to talk to you about 2 types of IELTS. The types of IELTS are general and academic. So you need to decide your type. Before that, you need to know what is IELTS, what are the types of IELTS, why do you want to do IELTS testing, and what is your target score. So before that, you need to know the type. If it's academic, you need to do if you wish to study at a university for an undergraduate or a postgraduate program, or if you want to join a professional organization in an English-speaking country, or even if you want to work for a university or a school, academic training is required. The second thing is general, and if you wish to study below degree level or work or undergo training in an English-speaking country, or if you wish to emigrate to an English-speaking country, general testing is required. So you need to decide why you are doing IELTS, and according to that, you need to find out whether it's academic or general that you need to do. So the process goes like this. You have to apply online, or you could do it in any of the IELTS institutes around you, or even the main centers around your location. So once you've registered, you'll be given dates and time slot for the modules to be tested. Let me brief you on the modules that are going to be covered. There are 2 parts in IELTS. First part includes listening, reading, and writing, and the second part includes just speaking. So listening, reading, and writing is done without any break, but speaking is done on a separate day or a separate time slot. It could be on the same day or a different day. So that is part 2. Let me repeat this once again. Part 1 comprises of listening, reading, and writing. It's done at a stretch without any break. And part 2 comprises of just speaking, which you would do in another time slot. So on that day, when you go, you're ready to do your IELTS, you're at your center. Once you reach there, you submit your belongings. They might give you a locker to keep your belongings safe. Then you would be redirected to do your biometrics, after which you would be given a candidate number. So with your ID and your candidate number, you would go into the exam hall and you'll be made to sit at a desk, and there'll be a waiting period at that moment. And that moment is the time for you to sit, get acquainted with the environment, and relax, get all the stress out of your body. Just be calm, and of course, don't forget to pray. Just focus on your desk, the papers around you, your ID number and your ID. Try to paint your surroundings black. You don't have to look at anyone around. You don't have to look at the people doing the exam or conducting the exam, because all that is of no interest to you at that moment. You need to try as much as possible to remove all the distractions around you and improve your focus level. The key to doing your IELTS test is only focus. The more better you can focus, the more better your score would be. Please keep that in mind. Focus is the key to doing your IELTS exam well. So once you go in, you would start with listening and then reading, and then you would do your writing, and then you would step out of the exam hall, and then you would go prepare for your speaking. Or there are chances where you could have done your speaking a day before your part 1. So the total time for the entire part 1 and 2 is 2 hours and 45 minutes. But this total time taken would be exactly for test time. That is the test time, but inclusive of all the intervals and the other time taken for biometrics and registration, all that would be about 4 hours for part 1 and an hour for part 2. So all the candidates, be it general or academic, would be tested in listening, reading, writing, and speaking. And your listening would be for 30 minutes. That is the exact test audio time. The audio time you will be listening to an audio for 30 minutes and answering. But that answering would be in a question booklet. Your actual time will be given an extra 10 minutes for listening to put your answers down on the answer sheet. So basically, listening, you have 40 minutes. But the audio test time is only 30 minutes. You have an extra 10 minutes to write your answers. This is only for listening. Please remember that. But when it comes to reading and writing, you have a whole 1 hour. So reading, you have 1 hour where you take the test, you do your reading, you answer into the booklet, and then you transfer your answers back to the proper answer sheet. All this should be done within 60 minutes. The same thing is with writing. You'd be given a topic and you need to write. And speaking is completely different. It's going to be a one-to-one interview, which would not take more than 15 minutes. So all this is very precise. Just be well prepared and practice well, and you would surely do your IELTS exam very well. So this is the system or the structure of an IELTS exam for general and academic. I would be dealing with separate modules in another video. This is the system of your IELTS, and the next thing we're going to see are the modules. Listening, the time given would be 30 minutes, and as I said, you would be given 10 minutes extra for transferring your answers from the booklet to your proper answer sheet. 4 sections, 40 questions, and the type of situations would be real-world listening situations. The range of topics and tasks would be listening for specific information like dates, place, names, understanding gists or conversation, understanding speaker's attitude or opinion. This would be your typical listening type of test. The second one, just after your listening, would be reading. The time given would be 60 minutes. 3 reading passages, totally 40 questions. Now the texts would be taken from books, magazines, journals, and newspapers. Question types would be to find detailed information from the paragraph or the passage, to identify certain attitudes and certain views, to complete a diagram or a map. Now remember, reading and writing are the only 2 modules which are different for general and academic. Out of the 4 modules, only reading and writing would differ between general and academic, which I will take in another video. The next one, as soon as reading is over, you would be given the writing sheet. You have a total of 60 minutes to finish 2 tasks. Task 1, you could take 20 minutes. It would be a descriptive report writing for academics and a letter writing for general. Totally, you need to cover an average of 150 words, nothing less than this though. And I would teach you of how to stay within the limit. Overwriting also would give you a lower score. Task 2, you could take 40 minutes. You need to cover 250 words. It's a 250-word essay in response to a particular opinion or a problem. You'd have to discuss the issues or construct an argument or critically evaluate an issue or give your suggestion. And there's a format for writing. Your task 2 is the same for academic and general, but the task 1 is the only thing that differs. So when your part 1 is over and you're ready for your part 2, you go in for your speaking test, which is about 10 to 15 minutes. It's a face-to-face interview between one candidate and one examiner. There are 3 parts. The first part is just for 5 minutes. It's an introduction part where they ask a few introductory questions and you'll have to give short answers. Once part 1 is over, part 2 comes in and you would have your individual talk and you need to really prepare for this, where in the speaking video class I will cover these topics. Part 3 is just for 5 minutes. They'll ask few questions, but your answers need to be a little elaborate. So this is it with the modules. If you practice well, you're going to do well. So the next thing is your scoring. You don't have any pass or fail. The candidates receive a score on a band scale between 1 to 9. So IELTS provides a profile of a candidate's ability to use English. There are a few general strategies that I want to include in this class. First thing, familiarize yourself with the test. That is, get to know more about IELTS, do your research, and look at a lot of articles and answer sheets and question sheets. Practice on real answer sheets from the beginning itself. Do the 3 Ps, plan, prepare, and practice. Plan for your test. First of all, find out the process, why you need to do your IELTS, what type of IELTS test do you require, and prepare for it. Gather all the information, gather your plan, make a routine, and keep a target score. Give yourself a point higher score as your target so that you would reach your actual requirement. The next thing and the key thing is practice. Practice, practice, and practice. This is the key thing to achieving a good IELTS score. You need to practice all the modules, practice on focus and time management. These are very, very important. I'll be covering a lot of concepts in my following videos. Thank you, all the best. Hear me in my next class, which is on Sunday. Don't forget to subscribe and have a great day.